everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to tonight's episode of the CJ Scott. I'm your host, CJ Etemo, and I am so glad that you have joined us and tuned in. Please invite your friends, share the stream as well, and we need to see your engagements. You know, here we set up the jury to talk about the things that affect you, matters that matter to your heart, but always the verdict remains with you. And we don't let you down anytime because we've got an amazing jury today. But before I introduce them, go ahead and just share this stream. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, CJ Atemo, kindly go ahead and do that as well as you invite your friends, as you tag them. If you've got to watch this on the larger screen so that your entire family gets on, because it's 8 p.m. right now, go ahead and do that as well. Today, we want to talk about office reentry, especially after COVID-19. How easy is that? How possible should it even be done? And to help us have this conversation, I've got, for the very first time on CJ Scott, James Watare. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, sure.
And he'll be telling us about himself just a bit because he's got quite a profile. And then we've got Chris Sakwa, who is not new to us. And then we've got Qui Wa Mwashi as well, who is not new to us. But I'll start with you, James. You know, you do quite a number of things, but maybe there's something that you want to specify.
My name is James Watare. I am the founder and managing partner of Executive Jobs Hub. I do a lot of things, but one of the things that I'm passionate about is branding the job seekers so that they can get their dream jobs. In short, I teach what people are not taught in school.
Branding the job seekers. All right. Okay. We'll talk about that a bit. And we've got Chris.
Hi. I'm a HR consultant. That's what I do. I'm privileged to be also a lecturer at the College of Human Resource Management, among many other hats that I wear.
All right. Okay. Koi.
Hi. I'm a marketing consultant and a student currently as well.
All right. And I am the student to the consultants right now on this set. Right. But a few years ago, people had imagined that, we would do away with the human workforce. Pre-COVID, the projection was that with the internet, the digital move, we wouldn't need so many people to be working in the office. Then COVID came, and it seemed to have perfectly fitted into the projection that we wouldn't need people working in offices. If we would just start from that and now, was that accurate, or will we still need people coming back to offices before we even talk about the issue of re-entry?
If you ask me, I think everything has its place.
Okay.
It is important for there to be physical presence in an office. But what COVID has actually brought out very clearly is that there are some jobs that can actually be done very well.
From anywhere.
Offline, from anywhere.
All right.
As long as your deliverables are clear and you're able to meet your mandate,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter whether you're in the office physically or not there. Now, why I'm saying everything has its place is because you realize that because this is not something that has been there, we have to acclimatize to it. And we cannot imagine that a year is enough to change the mentality of people as far as being in a place physically. You realize that also there's a challenge that comes when the output is not what was expected.
All right.
That I have friends that we joke with, that they'll be in a meeting with pajamas at the bottom and then a very nice tie and whatever. That's been the running COVID joke.
We won't talk about it on this set. We don't want to get too close home, right?
But beyond that,
Yeah.
there is all these things that are very human to us, and I'm sure the HR expert will back me up. There's some things that are so human to us that when there's nobody who is checking you like on a minute by minute basis, unless you have the discipline that comes with that, you realize somebody will still be on their social media. They will still be doing a few other things in the house. You still have a child crying out there and coming back.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a lot to weigh in. There's still a lot.
All right. But Chris, you brought in something that I'll come back to, and that is the effectiveness of people working away from the office. But Chris, do we need people?
100%. 100%. We need people. And I would reference a quote. I do not remember who said this, by someone, and this is very profound. They said that, and that was pre-COVID, in future we will have two kinds of people. The people who tell computers what to do and people who do what computers tell them. Only one kind will survive. Your guess is as good as mine. We need people. Because it is the very people who will feed computers with what it needs to do.
Right.
So the people that tell computers what to do have a future. Those that expect computers to tell them what to do then are probably going to be obsolete and irrelevant. So yes, we need people, but we need people that are equipped with the skills for that future.
All right. How is that easy or difficult, James, especially when you're dealing with job seekers? And it seems like the job space is really changing so fast. You know, Chris is talking about the kind of people that we will need into that future. How easy or difficult is that to have those kind of people?
We are in a fourth industrial revolution, known as the technology revolution, where the job seekers need to change their mindset. The job seekers need to know they are not their degree that is studied in school. They are not the job that they are holding. They are a set of skills. They are a set of competencies. So they should build their brand towards certain competencies. And now, where we are going into the specialized skills such that if you are in finance, you have a specific special skills that people can look for you. For example, you can specialize in financial modeling, such that you now go beyond now the general finance, such that now people can start looking for you, companies can start looking for you. We are going now into specialized skill set. Yeah.
Okay, and having spoken about that, you know, guys went home. There are people who've stayed home for more than a year since the COVID onset, and things are opening up. Europe has really opened up now. America is opening up as well. Of course, they've got the benefit of the vaccines. Uganda gave people water the other day, so I'm not even sure of whether we're getting vaccinated or it's psychological. But whichever the case, it seems like we can no longer talk about, we don't have a choice on whether we will reopen fully or not. It seems like things have got to really reopen. What would be the cause, Koi, for me to bring back people into the space? I know you talked about, and that's why I say you've spoken about something that we need to bring them back into. We need to go back into. What would be the reason why I'm bringing these people? If I feel that we can actually keep doing this work from their homes, we pay less for the office space. I probably don't need 30 employees because 10 of them are doing the work of the 30 guys, and we are still effective. Why should I bring these people back?
I like what he said,
Right.
that the job seekers have to repackage themselves. And I would say in the same line that employers have also to repackage themselves.
Okay.
Why? Because definitely COVID hit businesses left, right, and center. I don't think there's anybody who was left
Untouched. Right.
You know, so it is, as an employer, I'm not just thinking about I need these people to do this work. I have to think about my overheads. I have to think about my output, the customer base that I am serving, whatever kind of job it is that I'm doing, and really interrogate is, first of all, everything that COVID has done is actually prove to us the things we really need.
Okay.
And the things we thought we needed.
We need it. Okay.
So now it is I don't think there's anybody who will go into business without a clear set of these are the things that I cannot do without.
All right.
And with that in mind, then it brings out the issue of how effective are you?
All right.
Do I need you every day? Do I need you every hour of the day that I need you? because there are things that can be done in 3 hours, done and dusted, and we go. So instead of giving you a monthly, like a salary, I
Yeah.
can pay you by the hour, like some of the Western countries do.
You're right.
You understand?
Right.
And then there's the issue of like office spaces. Why do I need to rent this place for a month? I can actually go to some of this, what are they called? They're like satellite
hubs,
offices,
right.
the hubs.
Yeah.
I just pay for my people for the hours that they're there, and they come out, and we're done. My overheads are low. Effect the work rate is going up, and at the end of the day, I'm able to deliver what I used to deliver, probably even more,
Right.
but with more efficiency. So now we are having to learn how to be such a well-oiled machine. If we take the time to understand and
She brings up something, Chris. Are we even ready for that? She brings up that element, like we mostly will talk about the employees, the job seekers. They need to have a new mindset. But then she brings up something of the HR. We need to have a new mindset as well, and the employers, we need to have a new mindset. Are we even ready for that?
Are we ready for that? Maybe not. But guess what? Life has a way of throwing things at us. We were never ready to work from home in the first place. Yeah. We were not prepared for it. It came, it happened, we adjusted. So, and just like they have said, it is going to be, let me use the example of a football game. A coach would derive pleasure in a player that is utility in a way. They can play in 2-3 positions. That really is going to happen in the workplace as well. So if I am such a resource that I can double up functions, then I will stay. Okay. But if mine was just one and just one cause of it, I may be dropped, so to say. So are we ready for it? Maybe, maybe not. Some organizations could be, others not. And then you also asked, let me just probably go back to the initial question that you had asked. Why do I need to go back to the office when I have been spending less on people? 2 things. One, there are organizations that would definitely, and this is a sifting of chaff and wheat, really. There are organizations that do not definitely need to have people back in the office, and that's going to be very clear. Okay. They're going to operate with satellite offices, like she has said, and the hubs and all that. Some will just probably keep guys at home and operate from home. But there are organizations that have probably run into problems with people working at home, maybe because of the kind of sensitivity or nature of the work they do. So maybe confidentiality has been compromised, integrity issues and whatnot, and you need to have these people together. So there's going to be that divide. Some will definitely not have people back. Others must have people back. So my take.
All right. So let's just talk about this re-entry. If I am going to have people coming back, or I am preparing to go back to work, I've stayed home for so long, wearing the pajamas that Koi is talking about, Yeah, I'm used to waking up at about 7 or 7:30 because I know that the first meeting will be at 8. Then I just put on a shirt and a tie in my pajamas. I leave that the phone or the laptop over there. I do my stuff. I'll come back in when I start hearing people talking, And now I have to go back to work. And probably you're coming from Mombasa Road. There's construction right now. There's the construction. How much time do I have to adjust? How am I supposed to prepare myself? How are we going to make ourselves fit back into the culture of going to the office, if I may ask James?
So what the employers need to do is to have to be flexible with the employees. So the myth has been debunked.
There's the way Chris is looking at you when you say that.
I'm very serious. The myth has debunked that you don't have to clock from 8 to 5 for you to be productive. You can go to the office, you deliver, and then you go home as long as you have delivered perfectly.
You are saying what Koi was saying, right? What she's saying, that you can actually be flexible, have people work for 3 hours and then go.
Yeah, so what we have is that companies are still having those very fixed policies, whereby you have to be at the office by 8 and leave by 5. So what the human resource managers and company decision makers need to do to adjust to the demands of the COVID-19 circumstances, such that now they will be able now to attract more productive employees, such that now they can work at a specific time, they deliver. So what will happen now? People will start doing like 2-3 jobs.
Okay.
Especially now, we have now the millennials are now the largest workforce as we speak.
Yes.
And they are the people who are now very happy as a result of working from home, because they can be able to deliver and then do their own side hustles.
Yes.
And every millennial is having a side hustle. In fact, I tell hiring managers, if you are going to ask during interviews, you have a side hustle and then you reject on the basis of that. Probably the one who told you doesn't have lied to you. In fact, you should be very worried that there is a millennial without a side hustle. Maybe that is a person who don't have a self-drive, does not have an initiative. So as we go as we reopen, now the company policy needs to change to fit in the current workforce. According to the World Economic Forum, the children who have joined primary school, they will occupy 60% of positions that are not there currently. So as we evolve, the companies and hiring managers should evolve and change their policies.
Talking about that, and I'm just thinking about now countries where people actually go for those 3 to 4 jobs. What's the impact of that socially? Because if I have to earn based on my hours, it means that if I want to earn more, I have to work more. So I look for the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th job. As opposed to if I have a fixed salary, I'm very sure at the end of the month I'll have 50K, so I can plan with that. But if I don't have that, and I'm trying to raise this 50, and probably when I go to a place for the 3 hours, I'm paid 1,000, so I have to find like 50 hours of work to get that, which may mean that then I cut off my social life, Koi.
Yep. This is the reality, is that for every change, you must always actually have a proviso for all the things that are going to be interrupted.
Okay.
Family life is going to be interrupted. Definitely even your spiritual life is going to be interrupted, because it's not easy to keep up with like 18-hour day jobs, because see, for you to get to the place that you want to get to, sometimes we find ourselves really stretching. We can borrow these experiences from the Western countries. We've seen how they have worked, how their people work, and sometimes it's not even just you're going to do a regular 8 to 5, that whether it is in 3-4 places.
Right.
Sometimes you will want to stretch it to, as you have said, to meet all these things that you want to do. Now, I always say there is no really bad part of this situation. It's just how you're going to plan for it.
All right.
Because if I'm a young person and I don't have a family, I don't have too many commitments, Nima based it, it's just a few people to go and have fun with, watch movies and whatever, then I can make those kind of long stretch hour sacrifices.
All right.
And it is always best to be able to make those kind of sacrifices when you're young.
When you're young, right.
When you're young, because the minute family checks in, then trust me, it's not going to be an easy decision.
Right.
If it is in the marriage setup, one of you will have to actually give up their hours that they were chasing, because the children have to be taken care of. There are other things that need to be taken care of in the family setting. So it's always just going to be, where did this find you? And then how long have you projected this to be your life? Because if you don't have a plan that, I'm going to do this for 5 years, I have an exit plan, and after 5 years, if I've not done it, then I didn't do it well, I must actually change my strategy every year just to look through things and see if I'm still on the road to the thing that I want to do. Because if you're just going to do it, it's not going to work for you. And then the other thing is, I see that with this kinds of effects, there are things that we have to also be prepared for socially that are going to be the norm. There are people who will find that family is not important. getting married is not really part of the life's equation. I can actually do me, myself, I'll be going on holidays and stuff. We have to prepare for those things. We have to prepare for people who are just going to be very detached.
Are we supposed to be prepared as well for, mental wellness issues?
Boom! That's the other thing. Thank you for bringing it up, because there is no higher place where mental issues are highlighted than in atmospheres of great pressure.
Right.
As long as you have excess pressure that is coming at you, it's no longer just about how you can deliver, it's about when you can deliver, it's about how much you can deliver. And there's somebody who said that human beings were not programmed for pressure. They were programmed to live.
Right.
And live a good life. And this life means that I do what I need to do in the capacity that I have as I continue to build myself. But once pressure comes in, where you're constantly aware that you're not doing enough, that there is more that needs to come out of you, and then it's not even that there's time for you to prepare for it. It's now. You don't have time to think through too many things. There's going to be a lot of those things, and I predict in the next 5 to 10 years, some of the wealthiest people will be psychologists.
I was going to come to, it's interesting you raised that. So, Chris, as we talk about this, the change of the working hours and the change of mentality on both sides, the millennials, they're driven mostly by one thing, and that is the good life that Koi is talking about. Bottom line for them is that they need to make the money, they need to drive good cars, be able to afford holidays, post it on Instagram. They're built for the soft life and all of that. Are we ready to compensate that? Can we match their expectations? Are we ready to compensate that?
We probably are not ready.
Okay.
Probably. But again, we will have to make adjustments. Just like James said, you have to relook at some of your policies, your processes, the packages that you have and you're offering. Because for these guys, you don't tell them about if you are our employer on permanent and pensionable terms, which never attracts the millennials.
Right.
We are going to help you with, you will save for your retirement, and we will be supplementing whatever you're giving in by giving this percentage. That doesn't make sense to them.
Right.
So we are going into a space where they're going, like he has said, to be the bulk of our workforce.
Yeah.
It's already happening. And so that then means we need to recalibrate. We need to reconsider our way of doing things, some of the policies that we have to take care of them. Are we ready? Maybe not. Should we be? We have to. Really, we are getting pushed into that corner, and we must do that. Talking of re-entry, some of the things organizations probably need to consider is to make it phased.
Okay.
We cannot wake up today and send a memo out to guys and tell guys, from Monday next week, everyone is reporting back to our office. We probably need to reface it. We can have shifts, guys coming maybe 2 days a week. The other guys come the other 3 days a week, that kind of thing. For guys to probably acclimatize and get used to waking up early and beating the traffic and doing all that to be able to readjust. So it needs to really be faced. If we just go boom, we will lose so much. We are bound to have so many problems.
Okay.
So we definitely, as organizations, or rather organizations, need to then prepare for these millennials. Guess what? Like he has said, in a few years to come, probably right now we are talking of millennials being about 58% of the workforce. They're likely to be 92%, who knows? I mean, it's growing by the day. So we must prepare for it. We may not be ready, but we must have that.
You've talked about the thing of, the fresh start thing, and James also mentioned that probably we need to move away from the fixed times of you've got to be in the office at 8, so we give that space. But there's also the element of this person, and Koi mentioned that when we started, this person was used to working, while on the other hand, watching TV, telling stories on this side, so the concentration span has also been affected. They're used to working in an environment where they're nearly totally autonomous. Then you bring them into the office, they need to focus on their work. Don't touch your phones, don't talk to everybody, don't do anything. How difficult will that be to make that adjustment to come to this formal setup, just mentally?
Organizations had better prepare for a dip in performance. As we get back to the, we had better psychologically prepare for that dip, because we will take some time to acclimatize. I'm not sure, I can't empirically say how long that would be, but definitely as we come back, a bit of adjusting here and there, we definitely, our productivity is bound to take a dip for a little while. And so even in our performance management processes, we do not want for that period to be as firm as we have always been.
Okay.
We want to be a bit flexible, give it some benefit of doubt, and really as a human resource, we want to be as human as we can be.
All right.
While we are implementing some of these policies. Because for sure, we have been used to waking up, not having breakfast, just do my Zoom suit, sit by the computer, turn off my video, I'm doing things in the back end, having my tea, whatever I am doing, and that's my lifestyle. My daughter is coming, I mute, I address, get back to work, and that has been my life. I have been able to be with my family and all, and my family will probably still want me there, and so calls will probably still be coming, A, B, C, D. So we definitely need to have some concessions and some considerations, and be as human as we can be while we are getting these guys back into the office.
All right. James, for you, what are some of those factors that we need to look at? And especially for the employee, going back. As much as we talk about the employers need to make adjustments, but the truth is still that the person is in business to make money.
Yeah, sure.
So as much as they want to understand me, they're also meeting the overheads that we talked about. They've got to pay the bills. They've got to pay me for being there. What are the things that I need to do as a person going back to the office?
So what we need to do, both the employers and the employee, is to meet at the middle, such that these millennials will demand too much. They will demand flexibility. They will demand their freedom. But you have to talk to them and tell them you have to be on to come to a meeting at a specific time. Be on time on a meeting. You have to dress this way to come for a meeting, because sometimes if you allow them, they can stress too much. So you have now to talk to them, and they are more of money driven. So you talk to them about managing their wealth over time. The wealth is not instant. But now, when we talk now the reentry, we need to look at the generations of how they have changed. The baby boomers used to be enticed with mortgage, huge pension. Maybe Generation Z was also excited about that, but came Generation Y, the millennials, do not make sense. What makes sense to them is money that is coming now so that they can do A, B, C, D. So what we need to do is now to balance these two employees, because they're still working. The baby boomers, they're in their 50s now, going 60s, retiring. So they have to meet at the center, such that now you don't have to have too strict policies in the workplace, such that now you're going to demotivate them. Either thinking that you are putting them into line to put them to line so that they can be productive. As he said, there is a way you can be able to bring this employee gradually, especially the millennials, because they have been used to a flexible freedom life. At the same time delivering. So you need to bring them gradually to the office, maybe tell them to come in the morning hours, or give them or they should work in shift as long as they can deliver. So they are going now to, with the time they are going to be used to the office environment, and with the time now they are going to, probably as you adjust the hours, probably.
But I still feel that we are putting the burden still on the employer. What responsibility do I have as the person going back? Fine, you, the employer, has created this flexible re-entry so that you have allowed me to come work just in the morning and go. What is my responsibility to that? Because it can't just favor me. Remember, we have a contract. We have a contract.
Chris, I think in every conversation, the thing that's always very frustrating is two people speaking two different languages.
Right.
So you have these millennials that they're talking about who, money.
Yeah.
Give me money. Then you have the managers who are talking I need you to deliver. I need you to be a certain way. I need to do certain things.
Yeah.
And so if these people are not meeting from the same point of view, there's definitely going to continually be a lot of clashes. I would say that, first of all, there is a very big responsibility on HR institutions to actually continue now phasing out certain policies
Right.
when they're training management, because
Okay.
there are some expectations that will not be met.
All right.
Because the baby boomers are not managing baby boomers.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
managing millennials. You have to talk their language. You have to be in their space. You have to be in their head. At the same time, there needs to be a certain understanding of the workforce itself, that these are the bare minimums. You don't cut it by look for somewhere else where this can be accommodated.
All right.
Because the responsibility is on both ends. I need to make money, you need to make money. Where are we meeting on this conversation?
Right.
You see, because if it's gonna be a conversation, then let it boil down to the bottom line, which is
Okay.
money. We are
Yeah.
here, all of us, for the money. Where are you meeting me? Because if you're gonna come for my meeting late, if you're going to show up in tattered, those jeans I don't understand. If you're gonna show up, with there's some bare minimums.
Right.
Does your fashion mean more to you than the money that I'm gonna be giving you?
All right.
Where are you?
Okay, and Chris, this is where I'm coming to as well, which is still the question. The person who is Koi is raising the issue that there must be certain bare minimums. If I am the one going back to work, I must be prepared to also make certain sacrifices, commitment. I have to give up certain conveniences as well. How do I prepare mentally as well?
How do I prepare mentally? The truth is, yes, like they both have said, there has to be concessions on both sides. So it's not just the employers to do this. But even as an employee, as I go back, I definitely also need to rewire myself. And one of the things I probably would want to do is to seek audience with my supervisor. Let them know what I am going through, because readjusting from what I have been used to for the last 1.5, 2 years into the new norm, if I may call it that, would definitely require that I have a bit of adjustments to make. And so even be as forthright with my supervisor as I can be in asking for even what we have proposed. Maybe some organizations won't have that, so propose that I could probably be coming in at 9 and do my 7, 8 hours, as opposed to having to come in at 8 because I live in Syokimau. The office is in Westlands. Mombasa Road is what it is. So if I could make those kinds of concessions, have conversations with my superior about it. But mentally also, I need to already start preparing even my family to know things are not going to be the way they have been for the last 2 years. There are these changes that are coming. I'm having to go back to the office. I'll have to be away and probably psychologically start preparing myself for it as well. And when I get back there, by the way, I'm a team building facilitator, and I see myself having a lot of work as we reopen. Because guys would need to have some kind of reconnection. That would need to happen as informally as it can be before we can sit in that office again. So there's quite a bit that would have to go through, I would have to go through mentally in readjusting. Because if I haven't bought a shirt for the last 4 or 5 months, or a trouser, shirts I may have bought because I need to appear like I'm properly dressed. If I do not have any trouser, maybe it's about time I start considering doing my wardrobe again, because now I'd have to be seen fully.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
probably get shoes as well.
And let's talk about the impact on the family. I was going to ask that, Koi, when you were going back to work and you're a family person, there's been this attachment. And sometimes your family, they've not completely gone back. And then you have to leave. You're so used to paying so much attention, being with them. And now you have to at least 5 days be away. What are you supposed to do?
I think one of the things that we are also assuming is that the family setup has forgotten what we used to do. we have been doing the 9 to 5 longer than we've been doing this COVID thing. This one came as an interruption, just 1.5 hours, 1.5 years,
Right.
you know. So it's not like now it's going to be something super strange, because it takes a while for some things to really be embedded in. People still remember waking up at 5 o'clock. People
Yeah.
still remember being stuck in traffic. It's not too far stretched from us. So I think we also have to give benefit to everybody involved, that the readjustment may not also be as tough as we may want to envision it.
All right.
But definitely there may be some shock absorbers that are needed.
Okay, so let's just have our closing thoughts, because of course we can't really delve into the whole matter. We probably need to do a part 2 of it, just getting people. This would be one of those forums where you're helping people, Chris, just get themselves back into that space before you have all those team building opportunities where I need to come as well. But your closing thoughts, James.
So what I need to say is that what employers need to know, and this is a fact, according to the research that have been done, 30 to 30% of the jobs, they will be done remotely, they will never go back to the office. They need to know that. 2, they need to adjust the policies that are there. This is something, if they want the employers to be productive, they will need to adjust. And this is not a one-off thing. They will have to look at the behavior of the employee when they come to the office. They will have to sit with the employees and ask them and ask them what is working, what can work after some time. So there is going to be adjustment. So we need to shift from the fixed policies that we used to have, where some were so strict that they used to lead to unproductive instead of being productive. So on the side of now the job seekers, especially I like talking about those who lost jobs. Those who lost jobs, they were really hit hard. And there are many. The figures are 2 million according to the Kenyan government, but it is more than that, because when we look at the informal employment, the Juakari sector, it employs so many people.
The 2 million was by last year, August, I think.
Yeah, there are too many people that lost jobs, and they are not documented by the government. So what happened when there was economic downturn in 1980s, there was a lot of entrepreneurial spirit, and then when SMEs were born, SMEs now became the greatest employers. And the SMEs now have been hit hard again by this now disruption of the COVID-19. So what now these have read, it is a technology revolution. Now such that now things have started going now online. Even recruitment has gone online. There is more need of software engineers and more engineers to go into the workplace. So what I want to tell, especially those ones who are looking for jobs. First, the redundancy has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the employer. Maybe they could not sustain you. Maybe it is the company was already failing. So you still have your skills, you still have experience, you still have your expertise. So repackage yourself and build your personal brand. And now you start looking for jobs that you know you are qualified for. So to do this, you need now to have the job-seeking skills, the current job-seeking skills. Currently, we are talking of 8 years compliant CV. If you apply for a job, you need to have an 8 years compliant CV, because now what has happened as we move to technology revolution, the HR have also moved to technology revolution, such that now it is not the human beings that screen the CVs, it are the machines. So if you still have the analog CV, you are going to remain jobless for quite some time until you upgrade your skills. The recruiters have gone to LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile or you're not active, and the recruiters and the headhunters are hunting people on LinkedIn, you need to have a LinkedIn profile that is optimized. So I want to encourage especially those who lost jobs and those who are seeking for jobs. Kindly package yourself, look for a coach or somebody who can blend yourself to upgrade you in the current job searching skills so that you can get yourself into the job market again.
All right. Chris,
yes.
The clock says 1 minute, so in 30 seconds, your end thoughts.
So as humans, we are creatures of habit. And it's been proven that for something to become a habit, you need to do it 21 times repeatedly. We should be open to learning, to unlearning, and relearning, even as we get back to the office. And this is twofold, both those of us who are employees and the employers. That way, we will progress forward.
All right, Corey.
For me, I think it is that managers need to manage this generation and not their previous generation. And for the millennials, I will say the expectation is not bad. It just needs to be managed as well.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we'll talk about this office reentry again, and then the changing face of the human resource. We need to keep on talking about that and how to just get ourselves ready for the future and even the now, because it seems like a lot comes in. We thought we'd just talk only about people getting back to work, but so much more has come out today. Let's get your views, your comments, your thoughts right there on the comment section and even on the feedback, and keep it right here on CJ Scott. Till next Wednesday. See you.